Hi guys, it's Any, aka the Noctrader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. And today's Wednesday the 17th of April 2019. Today I'm going to be going through some UK and US stocks on my watch list and doing some technical analysis on some of these stocks. Let's get straight into the video. You know what I'm going to ask you to do next. Hit that like and subscribe button and the alert button to get alerts on whenever a new video comes out. I've got Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Sorry about that. I've got Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at the Noctrader on all social media platforms. And if you go into the description section below, you'll see a link to my mailing list. If you join my mailing list, you get priority access to and free access to my training course that I'm developing for my website that I'm working on at the moment. You'll also get early access to my watch list, so you can see my watch list and weekly updates of the stocks I've traded on my watch list. And you also get an email whenever new videos come out. Let's get straight into the video. All right, so I've got quite a few stocks on my notepad today. I've got about 10, so I'm gonna go through them fast. I'm gonna split them up, UK and US. So the first three are UK stocks. First one I'm gonna go to, and probably for the final time, for some time now, is gonna be BAE Systems. Remember, BAE Systems was my pick of the week or pick of the month at the beginning of this month. It's 17 days into the month, and I've exited the trade. I put on screen how much I made. I made about £310, which I'm happy with. And just as I exited the trade, lo and behold, it started going up some more. But what can you do, eh? No, I try not to be that person that gets FOMO, even if I've entered the trade, made my profit and exited, and it carries on going up, because I've made some profit. That's all that matters. But yeah, BAE Systems seems to still be going up. But yeah, I'm done with it now. I just wanted to go and recap on how, and the fact that I entered at 477 and I exited at, I'm not sure where I exited at, but I made £310, and it was at 10 pips, so that would have been 508 or something like that. That's where I exited. Yeah. So yeah, just moving on. BAE Systems, I've closed my position. I made some money. Moving on. Next one is AAL. In the last stock watch list analysis, in my last technical analysis video, I said that this was a short, and I did actually short it. I shorted it, and I came out. I'd say came out a little prematurely because I saw a better position. But I shorted it and made. What did I make on this? I need to write down what I make when I make these. I shorted it for like a day. I think I made about £30. I can't even remember. Yeah, I shorted it. I shorted it anyway. But I exited the trade because I saw a better opportunity. No, now I remember what I did. I'm an idiot. What I did was that I went down to the 15-minute chart. So I shorted it, and like an idiot, like the idiot I am, this is what happens. I did this. I plotted some lines as a shorter time interval, and to me, I thought, ignore that. It's alert because I need. Yeah. So what I did was that I shorted it, and as it started coming down, it started coming up, and I thought it was making a descending wedge. And when it broke out here, I thought, oh, it's gonna start climbing up. So I exited my position. So I think I made like £1 or something or whatever. Either way, I shorted it, and then started coming back up to the position where I entered, and I exited before it could get into that position. So, but then the very next day it drops down. So I kind of did myself a disservice. But that's why sometimes you don't want to take too much credence to the shorter time intervals when you're looking at it from a bigger time scale, because even though it's going to ebb and flow in the shorter time intervals, at the bigger time scales, you know what you're trying to achieve. And I was trying to get it down to this line, but obviously I didn't. I exited before I could even make any serious profit. But I still hold true that I think that if someone took a position now from here to the line, that would be 137 pips that they could still make. I'd still believe that this is going to come down to the line, which is about 2050. Mainly because, as you can see on the daily chart, this middle support and resistance has been pivotal in several different points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I believe it's going to be pivotal again here. It may break through, it may come out, but this is where I'd take profit just in case it retraces back to the resistance line. The next one is ASOS. ASOS. This one's not really more of analysis, it's just more of a recap. ASOS, as I said before, it was one of the first stocks that I said was going to go back to £40. If you look at one of my earlier videos around January, I said around here that okay, it's going to make its way to £40. I was quite naive and I thought it was going to just retrace all the way up quickly, but obviously it ebbed and flowed for quite a while, but now it's pretty much near £40, and I was right in the end. I just didn't hold my position long enough to really realise the type of profits I would have wanted for it to get to £40, but I wasn't ready to wait for all of this to happen before I got to £40. That would have been 3 months, 4 months I would have had to hold to get to that position, and I wasn't ready to do that, even though it was nearly 2,000 pips. Maybe I should have held it, but you know me, I got itchy fingers. I can't hold a position for that long. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that yeah, I was right about it making its way back to £40. As I said, so anyone who had the patience to hold that position when I said it around January would have made a nice amount of money. That's something I need to work on myself. So yeah, those are the 3 UK stocks. Now off to the US. SSRI. Now I earmarked this on my Twitter and even in my last video, but initially, if you go down to the on the daily chart, it's kind of obvious that it looks like you can see that it made an ascending channel pattern from quite some time, peaked here, and then obviously started making a descending channel pattern. So it broke out of the support line of the ascending channel pattern and started descending in a channel pattern fashion as well. On the and the 180-day simple moving average rising doesn't really tell you much, but I picked this point 1127 as a pivotal point because it's where the 180-day simple moving average intersected, and there was also a previous resistance. So I thought this would be a great place to take profits. So what I did was I entered the trade today. So let me give you my thought process behind this trade. On my Twitter, I initially thought it was going to be a breakout pattern, because as you can see here, this is a descending. So yeah, it's something like that. It's not completely neat, but it kind of works. So it ebbed and flowed, and I've been following this for some time, and it was ebbing and flowing. And when it got to here, I thought it was going to break out, only because it bottomed out on this line. So it hit this line, hit it 3 times, triple bottom. So I thought this was a strong resistance support. So I thought it was going to break out. But you know what I say, you need confirmation. Never enter a trade prematurely or you can get burnt. If I had just assumed what was going to happen and then entered here just so I can get a better position, I would have lost money. So I waited. I was waiting for it to break out of here, out of the resistance, consolidate on the resistance as a support, and then climb some more. It did not do that. It started making lower lows again and dropping. At this point I thought, okay, well, it doesn't seem like it's going to break out the pattern. So I shorted it. I did an intraday trade, so I was kind of day trading. Shorted it, it went down a little bit more, and I exited around here as it started changing direction. So if you go to a 1 hour time scale, so basically I'm not sure what times I shorted it at. I put it on screen anyway. I put the information on screen as to the position I took, but I basically made a day trade. I shorted it, let it go down. When it started changing direction, I exited, made £68. Nothing special, but you know, Noctrader, that's how we play. We make big baller moves. £67 in one day. I'm honest, I'm not a 6-figure trader, as I said, but I'm right a lot of times, and this one I was right, so I made £68. You went, so yeah, so I just thought I'd give you that trade. I'm sure it's gonna go down some more, but I couldn't be bothered to hold it because I don't even know why, to be honest. I think it's still gonna go down some more. I may re-enter that trade at some point, but £67, I was happy for an intraday trade that I wasn't really sure about before, and I thought it was going to be a breakout. Also, look at on the 1 hour chart, you can see the 180-day simple moving average is still going down, so that kind of tells me that it's still maybe got some legs to keep going down. I would say that this support is where I take profit if I was to re-enter again, only because of what I said on the 4 hour chart about on the daily chart, sorry, about that being a key point where the 180-day simple moving average and this line intersects. So yeah, 1127 would be my exit point if I was to continue shorting it. AA. Okay, so this is AA is an all session stock, so that means it gets traded all through the day and night. It can be traded all through the day and night. I've already plotted the lines in this one. So this is the daily chart. Yeah, so kind of making an ascending channel pattern on the daily chart. On the 4-hour chart, much of the same. I like to look at the MACD on this type of chart just to see what it's doing, and the RSI. So I'd say it's kind of staying true to the ascending channel pattern. 180-day simple moving average isn't really telling us much, so it's not really enough information to dictate whether it's up or down. It's kind of flatlining, which is not good or bad, but it doesn't really give us much information. From peak to trough was about 4 days before. This one's been about 5 days, so it really makes big moves in a short amount of time. That's nearly 250 pips in 5 days. So if this is to go up again, I expect 5 to 6 for about 5 days and 240 pips again. So that's not a bad trade. If I put £1 per pip, that's 250 quid in 5 days, which I can. That's the type of trade I'd want to enter. That's worth my time. It's at the base right now, so this would be a great entry point. But as I always say, you want to confirm an entry. You want confirmation. But with this one, it seems quite. I don't even know what the word is. I say jaggedy. I don't know if that's like a proper term to use, but it's kind of volatile. So it's making lots of peaks and troughs, and so if I was to enter this, I think I would enter it now rather than waiting for it to break above the 15-day exponential moving average, because by the time it breaks above it, a lot of times a lot of the profits have been given away already. Like if I break above it here, that's £167. So this one I think would be worth a punt, because the stop loss would probably be about 30-40 pips. Yeah, maybe 50 pips for potential 250. So that's 50 to 250, 5 to 25. That's 1 to 5. That's 5 to 1 risk to reward ratio, which is pretty good. I'm more than happy to risk £50 to make £250. And the MACD looks like it's about to curve up. The RSI looks like it's about to curve up. Let's look at the weekly chart on this. Inconclusive, doesn't really tell us much. The 180-day simple move average is pretty flat. It looks like it's curving up, but that's not really telling us much either. So yeah, this one's an interesting one. Yeah, I think it'll be a bit of a gamble, this trade, but I do think it might be worth a punt just because of the risk to reward. I'm ready to risk 50, so I've got on my list, but I'm going to look at some of the other stocks first and see which one I want to enter. It's a bit of a race against the clock, because right now, as I'm recording, it's 8:15 in the UK, so we've got 45 minutes until the US market closes. If I don't enter now, I'll probably enter in the morning at the open of the US market, which is 2:30 GMT time. But the next one is Crocs. Crocs, I've been watching this for some time, and it's doing exactly what I said it'll do. What I did not notice the last time I analyzed this stock in the last couple of videos was that on the 1 hour chart, the 180-day simple moving average has kind of become a support, and now it's moving upwards. So this is really telling me that Crocs is making high highs and it's climbing. And it's doing exactly that. It's created like a little bit of an ascending channel pattern in this kind of area. I wouldn't be surprised if it broke out at this point, because it's starting to make some aggressive highs on the 1 hour chart. On the 4 hour chart, much of the same. So yeah, I said about Crocs. Crocs seems to be recovering after the shambolic drop that it made after earnings. If you watch the video that I made about Crocs, you know I lost some money on Crocs, but now it's starting to recover, so it's good stuff. This is a better view on the daily chart. So I made a vertical line to represent earnings, just so that I can remember this fateful day where they screwed me. And yeah, so I made a base at this line here. I set an alert on this line, but it seems like this alert isn't needed anymore, because it's yeah. Oh shiza, I shouldn't have done that. What was it again? Was it from here? Can't remember where I plotted that line. That's it. There we go. Okay, back to where we were. So yeah, yeah, so it's going to make high highs. I don't know where to call it, where to say would be the best place to exit if you enter this trade. If I entered it, I should have entered it here. I don't really like where it is now because it's quite overextended. I'd like to see a little bit of a retracement. But knowing me, because of the way it's moving, I don't see it may not retrace. It may just carry on climbing higher and higher. So yeah, it ends up climbing higher and higher. So, but yes, I said don't never chase a trade. So if you feel like it's in a position where it's gonna go in your direction, but you wouldn't want to set, because if I was to enter this, I'd have to set a stop loss at like 200 pips away, and I'm not comfortable with that. I would have rather have entered here and then set a tight stop loss and then let it ride up. So I would like to see a retracement before a possible entry, and if it just carry on going up, then so be it. Kind of like what I did with ASOS. Next one is Cron. I'm flying through these today. Cron is an interesting one. Cron is at an interesting level right now, where it's at a previous all-time high here, and there's another one here. There's another high here that is a resistance here. It could either break through it and go down to about $14, or it could find a bed here and then start kind of climbing up again. We're not in the industry of guessing, so it's just about watching it and see what happens. I'm going to set an alert on this line. Wait. I'm going to set an alert on this line here. Oh, close to it anyway. I set an alert here. If it breaks it, then we know it's going to ride down again further to this line, and then maybe you could just short between here and here. And if it stays true to this line and starts climbing up, then what I'll wait for is it to break the 15-day exponential moving average, which is the purple line, consolidate above it, and then start climbing some more, and that's where I'd enter. So yeah, right now it's just you want to see if it's going to break 15, or if it's going to treat 15 as a support. So that's what we're doing for Cron right now. Loma. Okay, so Loma is the one that I was complaining about the other day because I saw the position. I read it. I recorded myself saying this was gonna climb while it was here, and I did nothing about it, and I lost out on a good, as I said, like 100 or something pips. But fret not. I feel like that was just the first rally. I feel like it's gonna rally again. I think it's going to rally to this line, and this line will dictate whether it may treat this line as resistance and come down, but that's not important. I feel that's going to rally to this line because that was an old support. So why I feel that is because on the 4-hour chart, on the 2-hour chart, look at the 180-day simple moving average. It's become a support. It's gone underneath and become a support. Now what I will need it to is to climb up, and if it does that, I feel like this little bend here is just it retracing because it's going to climb up some more. When I go onto the 30-minute chart, I've actually plotted a Fibonacci extension on it. Or is it retracement? I can't remember which is which. So I feel from the base to the top, it seems like the 38.2% level is where it's resting, just above it. So if it makes its way to about 1260, that'll be another level for it to get to. So, but I'm still not sure. This could come back down for Orlando. So I want it to go up, but I still think this isn't enough information for me to go off of. So I'm just watching it right now. I'm not going to enter a trade right now because this one's probably the one I'm least confident. Even though I do think it's going to go up, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know whether it's going to come down a little bit more before it goes up. Might come down to the 50% level and then come up. So I'm just going to wait it out, to be honest. I'd rather just wait it out and then lose a little bit of profit and enter later than enter at the wrong time and then take a little bit of a loss first. Now, the next one I'm looking at is JetBlue. JetBlue, I'm going through this one a little bit fast because I've explained this in a bit more depth in my previous video, but JetBlue reminds me a bit of ABF, SLA, and yeah, I think ABF and SLA. What this is, it's a descending channel pattern that's been descending for quite some time. It's been descending since March 2018. So it's just been falling. seems to have found triple bottomed here, or if you want to call it a double bottom maybe, and now it's coming up, and I feel it's gonna break out, but I've set the alert here and I'm just waiting for it to break out. Yeah, even the MACD and RSI looks like it might start climbing, but I'm not taking no action until it breaks out. And what I want it to do is break out definitively. I want it to come up a little bit, come back down. Let me say this. I want it to come up a little bit, come back down, hit the old resistance as a support, and that's when I'll enter, and then it'll climb some more. I said SLA did the exact same thing, and look how that's been working out for me so far. That's been doing so pretty well. The very last one, so I've set an alert here for that, and when it breaks out, I want the 180-day simple moving average to start rising. And then SLA, very last one. Yeah, SLA is kind of an example of what I was talking about before. What is this line about? No, so not SLA. Let me go into, ignore SLA. I'm not going into that right now. I've spoken about that enough. Loco is a sinking ship. I don't know what this company has done, but they're struggling right now. And yeah, they've dropped down a lot. The 180-day simple moving average has crossed above the price on the daily chart, and it looks like it's about to fall. It looks like it hasn't done falling yet. It's going to fall some more. I'm actually going to look into the fundamentals of this company, because for it to fall this much and look like it's going to fall some more, there must be something seriously wrong going on with the company. So I might read up on what the reasoning is behind why it's falling so much. But either way, on the technical aspect, it looks like it's shaped up to fall some more. On the 4-hour chart, I've created like a little line for a bed here. All it needs to do is break this line, and I think it's just gonna drop some more. But the real question is, where will be the where's the take profit? It's a bit of a no man's land. I don't know where the take profit is. You just have to play by ear. What I'll do is, if I was to short this, and when it breaks out of here, I'd have to just short it and then wait, kind of like here, just wait for it to lose steam. So wait for like maybe the MACD on a shorter time frame. So maybe go to like a 15-minute time frame. So look at that, when it ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows, and when the MACD starts kind of going into positive territory, so something like this, I would have waited for it to come up, and then when it started aggressively coming up in the MACD, that's where I would have exited. So I would have exited probably around here. So for this, when you short it, I'll just have to wait for it, go into a shorter time frame, and then look at the MACD and RSI and wait for it to be like oversold, and then that's where I'd exit. So I've gone through quite a few stocks today. Any, aka the Noctrader, signing out.